Hey guys, I'm Sai and welcome to Ace Podcast Nation. On the channel we've got interviews, podcasts, series and content on various subjects including mental health, football, serial killers, films, TV, conspiracy theories, writing, music and more. All our shows are available in video format at youtube.com/acepodcastnation and audio at all the usual podcasting platforms. Today's show is my favourite type of show. Instead of the usual format, it's episode number 9, I think, or maybe 10 of our series Unscripted and Uncensored, where I have no prep, no script, no run through, completely unedited, uncensored. We just have some talking points, some subjects, questions sent in by the people on Twitter or Facebook or email, whatever, and we just go where those questions and things take us. It can be a lot of fun. Definitely go off the rails, definitely go off on various tangents, talking about random shit, and definitely be a lot of fun. Today I'm joined by one of the UK MMA and Welsh MMA's top prospects. You heard Jack Shaw recently talk on our show extremely highly of him. He was the winner of the Cage Warriors European Grand Prix. Joining me, he is Mr. Oban EVil Elliott. 3-0 in Cage Warrior, or professionally in Cage Warriors now at the moment. Welcome, buddy. How's it going?
How are we doing, Si? Top man, how are we doing?
All right, mate. Getting ready for this. I was having a quick look through all the questions earlier, and I was like, Jesus.
Oh, is there a couple?
There's a lot of them. I was looking. I think you and Jack and Brett have had the most questions.
Yeah.
Before that, I think it was Rodri Giggs had the most. But a lot of them were like the same questions.
Same questions about his brother.
Yeah. I felt really bad with that because I was like
cringing every time you speak to him.
But like I said to him, I said, look, we knew that we were going to get loads of these questions.
He must have knew that himself.
Yeah,
anyway.
And I said, if you don't want to talk about it, we won't. But it's just it almost builds it up more, doesn't it? If you don't talk about it, it's like you're avoiding it. And he was like, no, he's a funny guy.
Crack on, yeah. Oh, that's hard. I bet that's a hard pill to swallow in it for your brother.
And the worst thing is, mate, and I still can't believe it, and I seen a clip when he spoke about it the other day, is his family, none of them speak to him as if he done something wrong.
I don't know who I'd rather be. I don't know if I'd rather be the guy who, I don't know if I'd want to be, Ryan or Rodri. I don't know. I don't know what's worse.
Well, he was sleeping.
Your head would be screwed after that.
How would you ever trust anyone again after that?
No, I know. Your head would be screwed. Oh, no.
It's a bad one, mate. But then...
I couldn't deal with that. I think I'd rather be Ryan. I'd rather be the one who done the deed. To be honest.
But he said... on the show, he said, when he done that Paddy Power advert where he was poking fun at it and that about loyalty and that. Have you seen it? Have you seen the advert he did?
No.
So basically...
Is the connection gone funny or...?
Yeah, it did just then. It's gone back now. It's back now. You still hear me?
Yeah, I'm still there. Just hang on. Let me sort it. Yeah.
Yeah, so Rodri Giggs did an advert for Paddy Power where it was basically just poking fun at it, just saying stuff about loyalty and all that. It was all tongue in cheek, and he got paid a shitload of money for it. So when he done
that's the way you got.
Yeah, when he done it. Is one of his family members said to him, "Oh, you've overstepped the line there, doing the advert." And I was like, "What? He's overstepped the line by getting paid for it and poking a bit of fun of it." But Ryan, who's been sleeping with his brother's wife for however many years, that's all right. They're all fine with that.
That's
bizarre, mate.
That is having your brother sleep with your missus for all that time. Your head would be screwed, wouldn't it? It would be there's no return.
Yeah, I don't know how you recover from that, mate, to be honest. But then, like I said, all his family, they don't speak to Rodri, and they're all still friends with Ryan or whatever. And
No,
like Rodri said, that
yeah,
it's
I don't make
because,
any sense.
well, Rodri said, like, obviously I don't know, but Rodri said that it was because Ryan pays for their, all their houses and their cars and all that sort of stuff. So they don't want to lose that. But obviously I don't know.
Well, it makes sense.
Just what he
Doesn't
said. Well, yeah.
it? They don't want to annoy him, yeah.
Don't
He's got to have
upset
some
you.
coin, isn't he?
Well, he's bound to have a couple of quid, isn't he? I would have thought. So.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's get into this, into these questions. What I like to do, mate, is before we go into all the questions and the discussion points that everyone sends in, we'll just get you to tell us a bit about you, where you're from, what growing up, and siblings, how you basically ended up where you are today.
Well, my name's Oban Elliott. As you know, I'm originally from Merthyr Tydfil in South Wales. But when I was a youngster, I was 7 years old, we moved up in England in a place called Malvern. I've obviously recently just moved back after I finished uni. But I've got all together, so there's Joanne, Liam, Lloyd, Lee. No, Lloyd, me, Lee. There's six. I've got all together, 5 siblings. So from my mother and stepfather, I've got Tess. Then from my father's previous marriage, I've got Joanne and Liam, and then there's Lloyd, me, and Lee all together. So there's 3 of us, and yeah, there's a fair few of us.
Fair few of you, isn't there?
Yeah.
So did you say Malvern? You went to live?
Yeah.
There's a hotel there. It's one of my favourite places to go.
With
my missus, the Malvern Spa.
That's good there. Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah. That's
that hydrotherapy pool, and it was hot water.
I've never actually been in there.
Oh, it's wicked.
I've never actually been in there, but yeah, no, I lived there for years. Yeah,
it's a nice area, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely. So I think my father's idea was get us out of Merthyr for not growing up, the same way you did.
Years,
Yeah.
Get you out of there in your teenage years.
Yeah.
Get you back once you're grown.
Yeah.
So, what's Oban? That's not a name that you hear like a lot.
No.
Where's that come from? Do you know?
I don't know. Well, because unfortunately, my father passed away, and it was his idea to call me Oban. So I'll never know. People call me Oban. It's actually pronounced. My name should be pronounced Oban.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, no, I'll never know. I don't think. I don't make any sense. Does it? There's 3 brothers altogether, 3 sons he had, and one's called Lloyd, one's called Liam. You'd think I'd be called like Luke or something, wouldn't you? But
something with an L.
Oban, yeah.
So how old were you when you first got into like MMA and stuff?
Well, MMA, I had my first MMA fight when I was 18. So, but that was my first. I originally started training. Ever since I can remember. My mother and father would take me and my brother Lloyd, because we were only young kids. Stuff like, it was everything. We like, obviously gymnastics and stuff like that, swimming. But then we were in like judo classes, up a boxing gym now and then. But me and my brother used to hate it. But then when we moved up to Malvern, when he died, we sort of carried it on, and from that, about the age of 7, 8 years old, I was training in Taekwondo. I don't know if you were at the stand-up martial art, Taekwondo, and that was that I kept that up for a good few years, and then stopped for a bit. My brother kept going. He's a little bit older than me. He went to a boxing gym then. I sort of followed him because I never used to get on with it. I never used to like it. I used to always want to, because I watched, I think, I can't remember how old I was. But I remember it like it was yesterday. I watched Rocky 1 or 3, and I was stood there in my room like, yeah, that's it. I want to be a boxer sort of thing. But I go training and get punched, start crying, and run to my mother. I was one of them kids when I was about that age, 8 or 9, 10. And then when I was in secondary school was when I went to the kickboxing gym because the first Taekwondo instructor I ever had, Julian Burton, he opened up a kickboxing gym, and he seen me and my brother. We were two like rowdy, outgoing kids, louder than everybody else up there. And he said, this probably isn't for them. They've got far too much energy, and they need taming down a bit, discipline a bit. Yeah. So he was opening a kickboxing gym, like a freestyle kickboxing gym. So it's, as you can imagine, it's just kickboxing, a lot of sparring and stuff like that, and hitting pads, and more like like a traditional fighting gym. And from the age of about 12, I 12, I think I was just turned. I was on the bus back, and I said to my brother, "I'm gonna come training tonight." He's like, "Oh, I say that all the time." And then since then, I never looked back. I had my first fight 3 months later. I just took to it. I'd always trained, but I never stuck at it, because I'd always, if my brother would hit me too hard, we'd argue, and then it was because Lloyd done it first. He carried on. It was petty that. But I stuck at it fully 100% from the age of about 12. And from then, I'd fight after fight, tournament after tournament. And my first few fights, I lost. Lost my first 3 kickboxing fights. I thought, no, I'm having a go. I'm taking part. And then when I won my first one, then I thought, I could keep this up then. And then I got, and then I had a couple of fights in school, down the park, on the street, as a young kid, like near enough anyone else does. And I started to just love it more and more. And since from that age right to now, and then I was 18 when I had my first MMA fight, and the rest seems to be history so far. Do you know what I mean?
It's quite old, that, isn't it, to have your first MMA fight for a pro, and it to be 18, because a lot of people. That's
my first amateur MMA bout. Yeah.
But
so before then, I'd had about, say, 15 amateur kickboxing fights. Yeah. So whether that was in front of a full crowd, or whether that was in a tournament setting where you'd fight, say, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you'd win on the other side of the brand, and then you'd fight again 2 minutes, like 2-minute rounds, but you could have 4 fights in a day.
Yeah.
So I'd done countless tournaments like that in kickboxing. So I'd got a real taste for competition, and by the time I could train consistently in MMA, because the gym up in Malvern, there's no gyms on it, so I was having to travel on the train up towards Worcester. And as soon as I could, I took a fight, and then I never looked back.
What was your amateur record in MMA?
8 wins, no losses.
So really, since you've, after that those initial couple of losses in kickboxing, you haven't really lost.
I haven't lost since at all, my first 3 amateur fights. No, but I think that's what people tend to think of me as well. They always come up to me and say I'm undefeated. It's like, I am undefeated, but then again, I've lost before. I know what it's like to lose, and I cared more then. I was really worried about losing then. I come out the ring, big ice bag on my head, but everyone feels sorry for me, buy me a Mackey's on the way home or something like that, But now, I got a mindset of a bit of a veteran. You're undefeated, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I haven't got the. I don't know if there's such a thing as an undefeated fighter. He's going to have lost at some point, whether he was 6 years old in a judo competition or whether he's lost for a world title. He'd have lost at some point. No, there's not a single person, I don't think, on the round of every competition he's ever done. That's fact. I don't think there is. And even if you look at then sparring, they've probably lost a round of sparring.
Yeah,
to me, it's not really a thing.
Yeah, it's true. I wonder if Khabib's ever lost a round, sparring or something. No, he must have.
I can guarantee his brothers his brothers would have filled him in when he was younger. That's what happened with me. I was the youngest brother of 3, and then I had my old man. I was literally the smallest man in the family.
Yeah. So
that's how I grew up, getting filled in.
Well, that's it. It's with anyone who's got brothers, they know what it's like to. I was the older brother, so I was all right. But my younger brother, I used to beat the crap out of him a lot. But it is what it is, isn't it? But I mean, Yeah, Khabib's got a couple of brothers, haven't he? And I suppose it's even worse if you've got if all the brothers do combat sports and that.
Yeah. Well, I was the same situation with. Been training longer. He started before me. He knew everything more than I did. I could never beat him in a spar. I could never show him something he didn't already know. I was just always second best all the time. I was used to being second best. I think it does help my head a bit going into fights. It's given me a different mindset. I think my brother would probably say he's got a different one to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because all these different things growing up, they influence like how you approach fights, how you approach training, how you approach all these different things. It's going to have an influence, isn't it, on your mindset and your psychology going into it.
Yeah.
So
big time. I think.
Yeah, go on, mate. I was just going to say
delayed.
Yeah, it's good. What's like your mum and dad, were they all happy when you told them you were going to turn pro and go into fighting as a career?
Yeah. They were really proud of me. They know I want to do this since I was a little kid, and I think to my mother and all my family, really, none of it comes as a surprise because they know how hard I've worked my whole life for this. So when I said, I was turning professional, first thing my granddad said was, well, you better start getting paid now. And I was like, yeah, well, it'll come. And it's the first thing he turned around and said. But yeah, other than that, they're all really proud of me. They're all happy. My mother only just started coming to watch me fight like 2 years ago. Never seen one before that.
I reckon it's got to be hard for mums to watch their kids get like smashed in the face.
Yeah, she can't. No, she's only just started. Literally 2 years. October 2017 was the first time she ever come.
Oh, that's mad, no?
Yeah,
it's exciting time, though, isn't it, for UK MMA, because there's so many like really like good fighters, and there's this guy, particularly Wales, mate, especially there's some fighters who could go like to the very top.
No, I agree with you. Yeah. It's a. I don't think there's ever been if you take the old UK as there's never been a time where UK MMA's had this many prospects at once. I don't think. I can't think of a time that Terry Etten back then. None of them were in the talks of being world champions before, apart from Michael Bisping, obviously.
Yeah. But
obviously now it's a new wave, especially the boys, me and the boys in my gym. We're gonna show a lot. Anyone who doesn't think across the world that this little country in a corner is a lot we're gonna show.
Yeah, I think people will be surprised over the next couple of years. Some of the Welsh fighters coming up, and in the UFC and Cage Warriors and Bellator and that, I just think they're gonna take over, mate.
Yeah, I think they have as well. Yeah.
But the UK overall, there's you've got Paddy Pimblett, and you've got Molly McCann and Darren Till, Tom Mearns, Brett Johns, Jack Shaw, John Phillips, Lewis Long. There's so many either already in the UFC or already on the brink of UFC or upcoming and ready to really push on over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
It just could be I just think in 3 or 4 years, you could see a UFC top 10 and it could be filled with British fighters.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But it's mad how much everybody's come on. I remember you go back 7 years. I was 15. I was still having to explain to people what MMA was.
Yeah.
And people just didn't have a clue. What's jiu-jitsu? What are they doing on the floor? They just didn't have the foggiest idea of it. And now it's probably the biggest sport in the UK other than football. And even football, people are talking about Liverpool versus Man City or whatever, but they're also talking about the next UFC event coming up. It's just as big. It literally is just as big.
Yeah, I think the only thing which in some ways holds the UFC back from making that next step is that it's always on a 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
If it was
yeah,
on a like prime time Sunday night, like, or Saturday night, like 8 o'clock at night, I just think it would be huge. Like, I think that's the only thing which holds it back.
But I
then,
think,
like,
no, you're totally right there. That'll get like the casual fan watching. But
yeah,
what I think you'll find is, especially when it's like showing at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, like groups of lads will go out on a night out, and then
yeah,
they
and then
pick
just
someone's
pile
house
on.
to go back to and carry on, go all the way through and watch the UFC. You know, no sleep. It's like a party, innit?
Yeah. I admit, I used to be able to do these days. Like, I'm coming up 40 soon. Every time I seem to try and stay awake to watch the UFC, I fall asleep at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm the same. I say any of the boys, I'd fall asleep in a nightclub. I've done it. I always do now. I'm like,
You're one of those who fall asleep against the speaker, like,
yeah.
while it's
I
pounding.
don't know what it is. I got some. It's like I don't know what it is. Obviously, because I can never drink either. Hardly. I'm in fight camp all the time, but so when I do drink, I think I'm 18 again.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It never ends up the same. It never, I'm always having to dip out and go to the kebab shop halfway through a night out.
You can't fault a kebab.
No.
So that takes me actually onto one of the questions. One of the questions we had in was, what have you sacrificed to get where you are currently?
Oh, I'd say the biggest one for me, I'm 22 now, just turned 22, and the biggest one for me would just be your social life. You gotta. What have I sacrificed? Well, I went to uni for 3 years, and other than the first term, ask anyone I went to uni with, coming out, no, I've got training tomorrow morning, no, I've got a fight coming up, I'm not drinking for 8 weeks, or boys will go away to festivals, holidays, no, the amount of times the amount of things I've had to turn down in reward, in exchange of, staying dedicated to my training to make sure I'm getting better. No, I've never got in over my own head and thought, I'll be right to go, have a week off training in Iron Apple and come back with 4 weeks left to prepare for the fight. I've never been like that. I've been dedicated the whole way. I carried myself like a world champion, I'd say, because that's my mindset. And
the thing is, you've got to be, haven't you? Because like these days, fighters, like say, like you're saying just now, like 7-8 years ago, where MMA wasn't as big. You had MMA fighters where predominantly they'd be like strikers, or they'd be grapplers, or they'd be whatever. They kind of specialize in one discipline, and then they maybe be all right at some other stuff. Whereas now, all the top fighters can pretty much do everything.
You've got to do it all, And the thing is with me, I'm only young, but I had this thing in my head where I'm not going to wait until I'm 21 and so I can go out as much as I can, go to all these, do every festival every year and do a weekend here, a weekend there, go out on the piss with the lads all the time. I didn't want to do that because I know I wouldn't have been able to live with myself, if I'm copping out of my childhood dream.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of a couple of nights out, So that's for what I've had to sacrifice is, a lot of money, my entire social life. Ask any of the boys, but they all support me. We all come together every fight, and I still see them now when I can. But yeah, I've had to sacrifice a lot. If I go out with my girlfriend anywhere, if I'm in fight camp, I'm can I eat this? No, can't go to that restaurant, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I can't drink. There's a lot of things I can't do, and it's a selfish life,
But I think people forget sometimes, like, the impact that being like a professional fighter has on the girlfriends and the wives and stuff.
Yeah.
But also, like, particularly when you're starting out as a professional, is financially on you guys, because maybe you've got to turn down work because you're training or you're in fight camp or whatever it may be. And like, people don't think of that because they think a professional fighter, he's getting paid for it, or he's got sponsors.
I've just been out over Christmas and out with the boys. You can get around in professional now. And I think I literally said to him, you probably got more money than me, mate. I can guarantee you that now.
Yeah, it takes time, doesn't it, to get, to build yourself to a certain level.
Yeah,
and like
it does.
when I spoke to Paddy, he was saying, like, it's disgusting the amount which MMA fighters get paid compared to boxers.
No, it's terrible.
Like, like the top British MMA fighters don't get even probably half of what an average boxer gets per
That
fight
Daniel
and stuff.
Dubois, I think. What's he now? He's like just won the British title, I think. Daniel Dubois. You know, he's all good and all. He's really good in all fairness. But I guarantee you, he's not working full time.
No,
I can guarantee you, he's got a nice car on the drive. You know, he's not
Yeah.
worried about money. You know, I'm worried. You know, I'm 22. I haven't lived at home since I was 18, since I went to uni, and you know, I'm financially dependent. I've got no backup. I can't go to my mother and father for money. I can't go to anybody for money. You know, I got to work for every penny I got, and you know, I chase sponsors as much as I can, because without them, you know, what people don't realize as well, if I've got to have a week off, a fight week or something, I'm missing out on a week's wages. So then, the fight comes round. Out my fight purse, I probably lent money off a couple of people because I'm skint, so I've got to pay them back. So I don't have a fight purse, and then I come back to Monday, I don't get a paycheck, so I got to work. You know what I mean? It's not really, it's not glamorous at all. But I know where I'm going with it, and I put the work in, and there's not a chance I'm not making a living out of this, and there's not a chance I'm not being one of the best, if not the best in the world, and that's. You know, I'm on a mission, and I have been since I was a kid with that, you know.
Yeah, can't fault you, mate. I couldn't believe. I think it was either Paddy or Danny told me that when fighters go out, so like a British fighter goes out with the UFC for like an event in America, they only pay for like a certain amount of their team to go out. I think it was 2 or 3. So if you want like all your coaches out there, for instance. Pay for it out your own pocket or get a sponsor.
Out your purse.
Couldn't believe that, because like you know, UFC is like $1 billion company, isn't it?
And then you think of the tax. What you'll get? What if you fight in America, and the amount you'll get taxed on your purse when you bring it back over here? It's not glamorous. It's not a glamorous living. But once you start, you can't stop. You know, and I'm not stopping now. So
no, and I mean the dream is to get to that Conor McGregor level, and financially, where you're just raking in the bucks everywhere.
Yeah.
Right, let's get into some of these questions. We always have a load of questions about Conor McGregor. He's like,
is there?
Everyone loves talking about him. he's always got plenty to say, hasn't he?
You can say what you want about him. He is the main man, though. You can't fault him,
mate.
No.
Like when he started out with the UFC, and he was on benefits, and his missus was supporting him and stuff. And
I do think that, mate. You know, he was on benefits. He could have just got a job.
Yeah.
I always think that. I think everyone was going, oh, you know, God bless him. He's on the dole. But I could go on the dole now. Train full time. I could do that now.
Yeah.
I go to work every day. You know, you know, that's just the point. I ain't mocking him, and he's never going to watch it, is he? So.
But, you know, he could be our biggest fan, mate. You know,
who knows?
He's made his money, mate. Let's be fair. Be interesting to see how he does now this year, because he looks like, I was watching an interview with John Kavanagh, and he was like, he hasn't seen him this focused in years, and he looks jacked. Well. Like, so I'd be interested if he smokes Cerrone and like around.
Yeah.
And then
if he's just absolutely schools him, you could say he could get back in with Khabib, can you? You know.
I still think he needs to fight someone else before Khabib, I do.
I agree, I do. But I think, you know, Dana will be jumping at that. I don't think they should do that, though, because if Conor loses to Khabib twice, he's
done, isn't he?
What are you going to... I don't think he's done, but he's never going to reach that. He's going to have to go up to welterweight, isn't he? And have a go up there.
But then I think I'd rather see him in, like, super fights than challenge him for the title again.
He's got... if he beats Khabib, he's the best. He's one of the best ever, isn't he?
Oh, God, yeah. And, like, people... Like, I know Khabib whooped him, like, but I do think that part of the reason that he didn't do as well as he could have was I felt like he adapted the way he fought too much. To kind of try and defend Khabib.
He was scared to engage, wasn't he?
Yeah, he didn't do, like, you know, like when you watch all those early fights, like against Aldo and against Chad Mendes and all those fights with him,
Yeah.
He brings these weird angles, and he's like snapping his left hand around, and he just never kind of got those angles working, and never really pushed him.
He was waiting for a shot, wasn't he? You know, he was scared of the shot. You know, if you obviously take part in the sport, I can see exactly why he fought the way he did.
Yeah, of course.
Because Khabib's obviously he's just stupidly strong. It's weird because people say it looks boring, but if you know what you're looking at, you're like you know how hard it is to keep someone there for that long, and you know how hard it is to get up. But like, it's one of them things. I'd say it's harder to keep someone down than it is to get up. But that's my take on it. But the way he just dominates people, it's scary, really.
See, I don't mind watching like a good fight, like with high level grappling and jiu-jitsu.
No,
I find it interesting. Like, I saw the last UFC pay-per-view. A load of people was kind of slating the women's match. Was it Cerrone, Durandamine, and
I didn't watch that one.
Amanda Nunes.
Ah, right.
And I thought it was an awesome fight. I really thought it was wicked. Like they were
I didn't watch it.
Back and forth, like.
No, I didn't see it.
So one of the questions about Conor was, or Khabib, Conor, and Ferguson was, who have you got between McGregor and Cerrone, and who have you got between Khabib and Ferguson, and why?
I've got McGregor beating Cerrone, and I've got Khabib beating Ferguson. I think McGregor will beat. Oh, it's a tough one, but I think McGregor will probably have an hard first round against Cerrone, but then he'll come into his own and he'll start, because I'm a fighter myself, and the way Cerrone fights, I think eventually you'll be able to start sussing him out. So eventually you'll be able to start, taking his reads, and because he's very he's very orthodox in what he does. It's by the books, really technical, powerful striker, but he's he's almost predictable. And I think McGregor's got that flair about him. I think he'll catch him, but Cowboy's 37, I think, now coming up. So he's no spring chicken, and I pick McGregor for that. I think eventually he'll catch him and TKO him.
Yeah, I think as the fight goes on, you could see Cerrone maybe coming into it a bit more if McGregor gets a bit gassed, but I just can't see anything other than McGregor.
I think the second round, I think the second round he's just gonna, the way Darren Till done to Cerrone, but I don't think he'll do it straight away like Till did.
No. What about Ferguson, mate? What do you think of him?
I think he's really good, but I think Khabib will do the exact same thing to Ferguson as what he does to everybody else. All this spinning around on your head and elbows from the bottom. Yeah. That's all well and good, but you're not going to do that. And if he does do that to Khabib, you could say, fair play to him, but I think he's going to do
Sorry, mate. Sorry to interrupt you, mate.
No, carry on.
Like, obviously, you'll know much more than me. Ferguson's jiu-jitsu is very, very high level, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, like, if Khabib takes him down, Ferguson would have a better chance of getting something from underneath, wouldn't he? Than Conor would, or someone like that.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely he's got more of a chance. But things with MMA, and if you're a good wrestler like Khabib, he's going to be controlling Ferguson pretty well. And the things with MMA, and people forget it, it's like, he's a jiu-jitsu fighter, but you could just, if you're on top, you can get up. So I think if Ferguson starts putting Khabib in a knot, Khabib has every right to stand up. You can be you don't have to be a very high-level jiu-jitsu fighter to be anti-jiu-jitsu. You can just stall people out and shut things down. And obviously with MMA, if you start spinning around on your head, you're going to get an elbow in your face, that sort of thing. So
a knee to the face.
Yeah, it's not really. But I think Ferguson could prove me wrong, but I think Khabib will just maul him. I honestly think he'll maul him. I don't know why everyone's saying it'll be such a close fight. Yeah,
I think pretty similar. I would quite like to see Ferguson versus McGregor. I think that would be an absolute banger.
Yeah, that would be a good fight. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I should have put the questions in order, so I bunched them all up. They're all just in like a random order. So let's have what people got. Okay, John Jones, is he the greatest of all time, or has he made too many mistakes and had too many chances?
No, he's the greatest of all time. Like, you know, he's human like everybody else. And if he wants to go out on a Saturday night and have a bit of this and have a bit of that, he's the best of all time. It is, you can't turn around and tell him he can't. You know, the drug testing agency might have a problem with it, but if he's sniffing cocaine, I don't know how that's going to help him as a fighter. That's just going to hinder him. So if he's sniffing cocaine on the weekends and still beating these boys up, you got to say it's even more impressive, to be honest.
Yeah.
But no, I think that the drug testing thing, I think he's been pretty redeemed because everybody else, Nate Diaz, his thing come out, it's like, right, so you sort of have cocked up there. But I thought Jones was on the juice like everybody else did. But I think without a doubt he's the best of all time. He's miles ahead of everyone.
Yeah, he's just high level everything, isn't he? But I think since he got everyone slaughtered him because he was failed tests and that after the Cormier fight. Since then, like you say, they had the mistake with Diaz, they had the mistake with someone else as well.
Yeah, everybody popped out.
And I just think it's bullshit that they can say someone's failed a test and then go back on it and say, actually, it was a mistake. Because
Romero, he got millions for he sued him because it nearly ruined his career. He's an Olympian, so
you get labelled with it, mate. And I think when you get labelled with it, it's difficult because it's like mud sticks, doesn't it?
Yeah. I can't imagine what that's like. I'm to explain to people all the time.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You would want to explain it, wouldn't you? Because you don't want to be labelled as a cheat.
I think if USADA are coming out and saying that he's clean, it is what it is. You can't dispute that.
No, they should clarify it, shouldn't they? Though before they announce it.
I mean? Techno if that happened to me. If I hadn't took anything and then he turned around and said I'm on gear, I go nuts.
Yeah, but it affects your whole career going forward. Sponsorships, everything all right, let's get into some of these random questions then. All right, let's start with a nice easy one. JD asks, who do you want to fight next, after the one you got in March?
Donovan Desme. That's who I want in. I'll be booked for June. He's fighting Paddy.
I was going to say these are the one that's fighting Paddy.
So if he wins, if he wins or loses, I'll be calling him out. Yeah.
So you're fighting. It's the 23rd, is it?
28th.
28th.
Yeah.
You're looking forward to that one then?
It's my first full week back training after Christmas, and I haven't lost any momentum from where I left off. I only had 2 weeks off maximum from my birthday to now. I could fight in a couple of weeks regarding my weight, but as far as fitness and technique and everything else, everything's there. It's come back straight away. I've never been in form like this in my life. I didn't think I could be this good. I didn't think I'd have skills that I do now. I thought I'd be a good striker. I'd have power and that will get me through. But I can do it all now. And hopefully this fight lasts a round or two so I can show people.
Yeah, that's the only thing, I suppose. If you go on a streak of winning fights in a minute or two, it's difficult to get the time in the cage, isn't it, to improve your skills.
It's not so much the time in the cage. I just want people to realise I'm probably the best kept secret because I don't think anybody has a clue what I can do.
No, that can have its advantages as well, can't it?
It will have an advantage because a few boys will be having a shock this year, mate. Let me tell you that now.
So another question we had was, what are your aims for 2020? Or what would constitute a good year for 2020 for you?
4 fights and 4 wins by the end of the year. And if I'm not, I want to be fighting for the title this time next year. Or if for some reason there's a pull-out at any point in the year and nobody else can take it because whatever reason. I'm coming for that belt within 12 months. So 4 fights this year from January to December. I want 4 fights and 4 wins, 4 more wins on my record there.
Yeah.
a good year for me.
Tidy. Well, see, what you want to do is, look, I'm telling you, like, but like,
Yeah.
keep yourself like within that weight, innit? And then if they need
Yeah.
someone to step
Oh
up,
yeah.
you're there.
Oh yeah. No, I'm about. It will sound like a lot, but I'm a big guy for the weight, and I'm about 30 pounds. I'm about 185 pounds now, which is my natural walking around weight. But I could diet 15 pound off healthy and comfortably in 6 weeks, and then the last weight cut week, I cut another 15 off, and that's comfortable, you know. So
Yeah, so you
I'll
could do that no problem, really.
But I'll be, as soon as I get down to this weight, I'm just gonna float around 170, I think.
Yeah, because you just never know, do you? If like people pull out or people.
But you know, I got a few more fights to win before I can jump in there. And I'm not looking past Sean Lutheran anyway. I'm looking just straight through his head. You
know. Someone else asked, have you practiced any really weird kicks, spinning attacks, or submissions that we haven't seen from you, or anything you've never used before?
Yeah.
Always practicing stuff, is there?
Well, it's not so much that. It's just I got about 10 years of training behind me, and if you add up my fight time, I like went on a streak at amateur. I was like 40 seconds, 50 seconds, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Like then it was like a 12-minute fight. Then I had another 30-second fight, another 30-second fight. Then I had a 8-minute fight for my debut. I had a 2-minute fight for my second one, and my last one was 2 minutes. They're all just so I can't show what I can do in that time.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm surprised people are still buying tickets off me, because they as soon as they sit in their seats, they're standing back up. But you know, that's why I'm calling for these top boys in the division, because if people want to see what I can do and they don't want to be, you know, see me clean someone out in a couple of minutes, then chuck me some of their names I've been asking for the last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen a video where you were asking for like Paddy and who was the other guy? I forgot his name. There was another guy you asked for as well.
It probably would have been Paddy, Mason, Jakobsen. Yeah. But the thing is with Paddy, you know, I'm calling the top boys in the division there. I'm not disrespecting anybody, but you think if you're say Everton at 6th place and you've got Liverpool, United, City, Arsenal, Chelsea, I don't know who the top boys are you going to turn around and tell me that Everton don't want to be better than them boys just because it's the fight game? You know what I mean? Get thick skin. People are taking offence to me wanting to be the best in the sport and the best around here, the best in the UK, the best in the world. People are taking offence to that. You're in the wrong sport, lads. Simple as that. You know what I mean? I did put that video out, right? Paddy Pimblett, straight away, I messaged him saying, have you seen that video? It's going to, because I talked to him before it. Just about bits and bobs. You know, you sound. And I said, I'm guessing you've seen that video, laughing faces. And he put, when I was your age, I did the exact same thing as you, lad. That's what you got to do. You got to break future in this sport. And then you get other boys who I mentioned in the video crying about it. Do you know what I mean? I ain't going to name any names, but if you're going to cry about a bit of competitive tension, you're in the wrong game. Simple as that, you know?
Yeah, and the thing is, you're always going to aim above, aren't you?
Exactly.
You know what I mean,
am I going to go calling out the journeyman underneath me like some of them boys do? No, I'm not.
And it's all about what you want to do, isn't it? Like for instance, Anthony Joshua for like about 2 years was fighting like bums and just like journeyman. But
he's one of them boys who goes, I can only fight who's put in front of me. I respect that, but I've had this many fights from cleaning this many people out. Sean Luther, he's a name I wanted, and I've got him. You know, so I can show what I can do against him. But you know, I'm young. I'm only 22. There's only 3 professional fights on my record. So you know, Graham Boylan's not going to look there and go, "Oh, let's feed him to the dogs." He probably wants to build me up, but
yeah, of course.
You know, he definitely wants to build me up. But there's only so many times I'm going to be able to make this weight, and I want that belt within a year. So, you know, it's one of them, isn't it? We'll see how it plays out.
See how 2020 goes.
Yeah.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
UFC champion.
Excellent. That's the answer. That's the answer.
That's and I believe that, you know,
So funny enough, I
to
was just looking
to
at
my bones. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There's not a doubt in my head that that's not happening. You know, and if it doesn't happen, it's going to be less than 5 years. And if it doesn't happen, I'll turn around and say, whoever stopped me on that way, they're a better man than me, and all the best to them. You know what I mean? But that is happening. You know, that there's no way it's not happening. You know, I'll be a UFC champion in 3 years. That's what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? I'm not here to say, you know, so and so is better than me, and I've got to build myself up. You know, I want to fight and I want to prove myself. You know, that's what I want to. That's what I want to do. You know, I'm a cage fighter. It's pretty black and white, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
that's the thing, isn't it? It's like with fighting, it is what it is. It's like dog eat dog,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's dog eat dog.
You want to get to the top, you've just got to fight your way to the top,
but
literally.
Think of it like this, right? Say you're a singer or a musician, yeah. You've just chucked a single out there, right? And you want to get the UK #1, and you've got Adele there, Liam Gallagher, Ed Sheeran. You've got people like that. You're all at the meet. You know who's going to win or some award. Everyone will shake hands with each other, but they'll all be thinking, "Fuck you" at the same time. Do you know what I mean? They'll all be thinking, "Fuck you, and fuck you," because I want to be #1. None of you matter. You know. And if you're not thinking like that, you got a loser's mindset. You know, and you're not going to get. There'll be a limit to what you can achieve, and you know. If you ask me, fuck everyone else. You know, I'm here to be #1. So that's pretty much it.
Cool. So, N Norms 76 asked, if the UFC came calling this year, would you jump at it, or would you say it was too soon and stay with Cage Warriors until you won the title?
I'd jump at it, but I guarantee my coaches wouldn't let me go. But I'd jump at it in an heartbeat. I thought that was my debut. I'd jump at it in a heartbeat.
I guess there's two ways to kind of look at it, and there's like that the one sort of side of it which maybe your coaches would think, whereas it's not quite the right time.
No, don't get me wrong. You know, I would agree with them that it's not the right time. But if you're gonna turn around and put that on the table and say,
of course,
you want to fight in the UFC, I'm gonna say yes 10 times out of 10. But will I fight? If they come forward, will it happen? Probably not this year. But if they come calling this year, I'd say yes straight away. But then my manager would turn around and say, "Whoa, now," they're trying to say that to me now, but
it's the thing is as well is when you get like those big opportunities, is you never know kind of if or when they'll come around again.
Oh no, exactly. Oh no, they definitely will be coming around again.
No, but what I mean by that is touch wood that it doesn't happen, but like you could get a bad injury or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you just don't know. Like, so
there's
always that consideration in it when you get like a big opportunity.
Yeah.
Same guy asked Cardiff City or Swansea City.
I don't really follow. Swansea City, because my old housemate Sean used to. I don't follow football at all, mate.
Do you know? No. So would you follow any other sports apart from like MMA?
I follow MMA, of course. Boxing, obviously, that kind of is the same thing. I'm into music. I am. I'd rather sit and watch like live music.
Yeah. What sort of music do you like?
Rock, guitar music, anything really. I like watching like gigs from like the 80s and stuff like that,
Nice.
Bit of Ozzy and bit of Eric Clapton. That's been on the blower today, stuff like that,
Yeah, and I saw you put a post up the other day actually on Facebook, I think it was, about the Libertines.
Oh, the Libertines, yeah.
Top band. I really like their stuff.
Brilliant band, yeah.
But like I'm outvoted in my house now these days because I'm the same. Like I really like music and I like indie music and good, like proper good music. But my kids, like like pop music, and my missus
Ah.
likes pop music, so I'm like outnumbered. I like a
it's
bit of
one
hip hop.
them.
I like a bit of hip hop and that. But
I admit, I like anything really, but you know, I'd say my interest, if I sit playing on YouTube or whatever on my phone, I'll probably be watching like a live gig or something.
yeah.
Yeah, I've always been into that. Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what else we got? Who's the biggest prick you've met in the fighting world so far?
Oh, that's a good one. Let me think now.
And why?
Who's the biggest prick? I can't think.
There's got to be some.
The biggest prick. Oh, that's a nasty question.
It is, isn't it?
That is a nasty question because there's,
It's like setting you up for conflict, isn't it?
for a confrontation at the next show or something. Yeah. No comment.
Come back to that one, maybe.
Yeah.
It's hard, though, isn't it? It's an hard one because
It is hard. Because
it's just it is what it is.
It is a very hard one.
Just
I wouldn't. It's not. I wouldn't even. It's not a fighter. It's not a fighter.
Yeah, and I think there's got to be like within boxing and MMA and fighting generally.
Yeah.
I reckon there's probably some shady characters like on the outskirts who like not necessarily fighters, but like just people who will want to take advantage of
like
fighters.
Officials and stuff like that,
Yeah, take advantage of the fighters.
When you say that,
You just thought one, didn't you?
Hey, there's a lot of pricks in the game, but there's a lot of good people in the game as well,
Yeah.
Whoever said that is a bad man.
I would think that was Gaz.
Gaz, you dirty dog.
Would you fight a teammate in the right circumstances?
Nah. We're all like best mates, man.
Yeah, and that's funny enough. Someone asked Tom Mearns, who's got a twin brother or a brother who's a fighter, and they asked him if he would fight his brother.
Yeah,
if the circumstances or whatever was right, and he said no.
I'd probably fight my brother. I fought him enough in my life. Let me grab my phone charger because I just had the thing. We've got 10% left. Is that all right?
Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool. What's your favorite place in the world to fight so far?
So far, Ebbw Vale. That's up there. The atmosphere in that little venue, you get. It's like have you ever seen Snatch?
Yeah.
When in the barn where I'm like the fight scenes and that. It's literally just rowdy. Everyone's pissed, rowdy. Just a flat out like it's like a fight club atmosphere. I love it in there, but I'd probably have to say the Viola. I'd be stupid not to. It's like a full-on arena. It's like it was a dream come true fighting there for the first time. Viola Arena in Cardiff, yeah.
What was your emotions like before that fight? Like just like the walk in and stuff.
Before the first one in the arena?
Yeah.
I was just thinking. I was literally thinking about the first time I ever dreamt of doing it, like watching Rocky or walking down the street, my headphones in. I was just saying to myself, like, this is a part of the journey, but it's a dream come true in itself. Making that big walk out to an arena. When I first turned the corner and saw the arena, I was just like,
yeah. What music did you come out to for that fight?
Franz Ferdinand, Take Me Out.
It's a good one.
That's a good tune. I let it build up,
Like that one.
And then I walked out as it started doing that.
Nice.
Yeah, it was.
You had a really good reaction as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it went nuts in there. Yeah.
So the one on the 28th now, that's in Ebbw Vale again, isn't it?
That's in Ebbw Vale, yeah. So that's not televised, unfortunately, but I'm the main event of, I think it's probably going to be my last one ever I thought my last one might have been the last one, last show they'd done last year.
Yeah.
And the main event of this card, I'm very, if you rewind 3 years, I have made my amateur debut on one of these cards.
Oh, that's okay.
So then I've had this year, another year. Now I'm a main event one,
Yeah.
3
That's
years
pretty cool,
later.
isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a nice way to, I'm really looking forward to it. And I said it's 15, 20 minutes away from Merthyr, so I sell a lot of tickets. All my friends and family will be there, and it's like a fight club atmosphere. It's loud as fuck. It's louder than the Viola at times, and
so it's really close in, though, isn't it? It's like really enclosed.
I've had some good memories there. I won my first amateur belt then. I made my professional debut then. I'm really looking forward to going back. Good
way to start 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some of these awkward questions and just make you sweat for the last 20 minutes or so.
All right, then.
What's the naughtiest thing you've ever done? Oof. That was from Gaz as well. What's he trying to do to you?
Naughtiest thing I've ever done?
Yeah.
Well, I actually got in trouble with I suppose the naughtiest thing I ever done would be getting in trouble with the police, wouldn't it?
Well, that's the next question. Have you ever been arrested?
I've never been arrested. I was close. Well, we'll go back to that. The naughtiest thing I've ever done would be, I got put on like the youth offenders list.
No, right, okay.
But for me and the boys were out and about. I don't bother them as much anymore. But me and Sam Hayes, we just gone into Lidl's and bought some eggs because we were going to go egging. And we were walking up this alley, and he said to me, "I bet you won't launch one of that kid there." So I launched an egg at this kid. I didn't feel good about it then. Launched an egg at him, split all down his chest. My luck, he knew who I was.
Yeah.
And I was like 13 then. And my mother gets a phone call then. "Oban, what? The police are on the phone. You've been..." Oh, I was crying my... But that's probably the naughtiest thing I've ever done, was launch an egg at someone into their chest. Because that was just out of order. There's no need for that. Yeah.
Was that in Merthyr or Malvern?
I was in Malvern.
Yeah. Have you ever been arrested? No. You said that, didn't you?
No, I haven't been arrested. I've been closer once. A bouncer beat my mate up, and then I had a little tip for the bouncer, as you would.
Yeah.
And then
some of them are just horrible bastards, don't they?
Well, they've all been banned from the place. I got banned for life at the place because I as you can probably figure out what I was saying to the bouncer, and then the police, all crowded around. But I defended my friend.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I didn't do anything out of order. I didn't throw any punches, or I didn't even touch him. He was hiding behind a rail, but I just said to him, I was pretty fired up, as you can probably imagine.
Well, the problem is, some bouncers are just horrible bullies, and and they get off on the power of it.
He hit my mate. He hit my mate Sean. It was his birthday, and then he smacked my mate Bumhole. I think Ben, not Bumhole. His nickname's Bumhole.
Whoa, what a nickname that is!
Yeah, poor kid. Yeah,
Jesus.
So and I went techno, and I said to him, as you can imagine.
Yeah. What else we got? Have you ever fought anyone you hate in the cage?
In the cage?
Yeah. Or dislike genuinely?
Genuine dislike? Let me think now.
It don't actually happen that much. If you think about it, there's not that many fights where people...
I can't say I genuinely hate many people, if not anyone. There was one guy, I fought Josh Hudson. I didn't dislike him, but he beat my mate.
Yeah.
I wanted revenge. I knew that much. That's about it.
See, I ask that question comes up a lot, or like similar kind of connotation.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, and you don't really see that many fights where the two fighters like have got to genuinely like dislike each other or hate each other. Like McGregor and Khabib obviously was personal.
That was personal, yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I couldn't really even think of many. I think Bisping had one, didn't he? Which was a bit
Rockhold he had.
Yeah, that was it, wasn't
it?
Yeah. If you could fight anyone from any era, who would it be?
Oh, from any era?
Yeah.
Well, I'd say this era is the one. From any era, you got BJ Penn or Nick Diaz or
shot.
Nate Diaz. That would be something else fighting them.
They'd be good.
Proper hard men they are, you know.
If you could fight any boxer, who would it be?
Oh, if I could fight any boxer, to be honest, I'd probably pick a journeyman so I'd win. Oh, well, any sort of dream match, but none of them are dream matches. They're all Mayweather, because you get the money.
Yeah, so that's good thinking.
Yeah.
And he also asks, if you could fight any current fighter, but from a different weight, who would it be?
What, in Cage Warriors?
Cage Warriors, UFC, MMA. Anywhere.
I'll say Cage Warriors because, you know, it's most relevant, isn't it?
Yeah.
From a different weight, I'd have to go up. Someone like, the only person I can think of, Cage Warriors posted a picture of me in a bag.
Yeah.
And this boy who I'm going to mention said, oh, everyone could hit a bag, show us something more. And then I said in the comments, I'll hit your head if you keep on, silly boy, or something like that. Alex Lahore, so I guess, you know, there's a bit of...
Have him. Tension.
Yeah. Nah, it's not. It's a bit of banter, but I think he was trying to give it the big one, and I just, you know, shut him down, sort of thing.
See, so if we do this in a year, you'll be able to answer that question of if you ever fought anyone you hate with the same answer.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't try to say I hate Lahore. I've never spoke to him or seen him, but, you know, he tried giving it the big one. You know?
That's what happened. See, we've got to build it up now. We've got to build up attention.
All right, then.
Got to build it up. Got to start tweeting him. Saying, Oban said...
Don't do that. There's enough of that now. You don't need to do that, man. It's Thursday night.
Yeah. All right. What else we got then? In your opinion, which British fighters should we keep an eye out over the next couple of years who could make the jump to the UFC?
Other than me.
Yeah, other than you.
Obviously. I'm joking. I think Jordan Peake. You know, he's one of my closest training partners, especially lately. Jordan Peake, Jack Tucker. You know, he's one of my best friends, and you know we've been training together for a long time, and I think he could make the jump very, very soon. You know, he's a really high level guy. He's still yet to make his professional debut, but he's one of them boys that as soon as he makes his debut, everyone will be like, you know, he realises his level. You're going to put me on a spot, you know, I was going to forget somewhere. Jack Shaw's already in the UFC. We can make the jump, and I know. British fighters. Paddy.
Yeah. He
should be in there, I think. But he's on a bit of a skid, but he's had some hard luck with injuries, isn't he? When you think of the middleweights, Ross Houston. He's got a good shout, but he hasn't fought in a long time. Like with Jai Herbert,
that's a good
champion of my division, 100% should be in the UFC. He's an absolute animal. I went to watch his fight, his last fight in Birmingham, live at the arena. Oh, brilliant performance. I try and look up to his style a bit. And he's a guy who he's the hardest man in the division. He could just as easily knock me out as anybody else in the world could. I called him out on an interview saying I want to fight the champion. and he would message me on Instagram saying, "You've got a bright future ahead of you, kid. All the best." Here's another man who's like a solid, fighter. He's I respect, people like that. In my head, they just go miles up in my estimations. They haven't got an ego. They're not running around thinking they're the big man. That people are, and he's got years on me, and he's got skill on me. I'm not deluded. I would fight him, of course I would. He's the champion, but he's an excellent fighter, and I think he should be in the UFC. Jai Herbert, he should be on this UFC London card. Yeah, off the top of my head, I think that's about it. In the next few years, yeah.
How good is Jack Shaw?
Oh, he's brilliant. He's a special talent. I got some weight on him, but when I train with him, it's just as hard around as it would be someone my size. He's a black belt jiu-jitsu. I look up to him a lot. I learn a lot from him, training with him day in, day out.
Top man as well. He's
a top guy. He's a legend. I've been on a few nights out and that. He's one of the boys. He keeps himself grounded. I think his attitude and his mindset is more admirable than. Yeah. It's the most admirable thing. Obviously, his skills are admirable, but he's good. He's such a nice guy. He could walk around, thinking he's Johnny Concrete like a lot of people do, but he doesn't. He's one of the hardest guys I know, and he doesn't.
Fair play. Who's the best fighter you've ever sparred with?
Jack Shaw's up there. Marshman, all the boys in my gym. Brett Johns, he's brilliant. Best fighter I've sparred with. My brother Lloyd, but nobody. He's had a couple of years out the game. My elder brother Lloyd, he's one of the best fighters I've ever sparred with. I think as far as like high level guys, Jack Tucker, when he tries taking you down, is an absolute nightmare. Jordan Peak, when you're in his guard, you're constantly nearly getting subbed. I sparred some good boys, but yeah, I don't know if I could pick one the best because I haven't sparred any of them enough. I've sparred obviously boys in my gym, but I'm trying to not name them.
Yeah,
because it's obvious it's them. But yeah, my brother Lloyd, that's the best fighter I've sparred.
Good shout. And what was I going to ask you? I was going to ask you something. I forgot what it was. I don't know what it was. Right. Who is Peaches wants to know who's the most famous person in your phone contacts. She always asks that. She's nosy.
Probably Enzo Macronelli.
I'm trying to get him on the podcast, actually. I messaged him the other day.
Yeah, probably Enzo. After my last fight, he texted me his number and or said, send me a number. I sent him his number, sent him a number. He said, if you're ever around, we'll do some training.
Top man.
Endo, I think.
Can't fault that.
But, he is obviously more famous than anybody else. He's been there and done it, hasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't fault that though, can you? Like people just saying,
Yeah, exactly. I was shocked when he messaged me. Yeah, Enzo. Shout out to Enzo. You're a top man.
Good man. I'm hoping to get him on.
Get him on. He's funny, isn't he?
He is, and he'll have some cracking stories to share as well, I reckon. What have we got? Who's the best British MMA fighter of all time, in your opinion, and why?
Michael Bisping. He's the main man, and he went through the era where everyone was on the roids.
Yeah, he did. He fought a load of jacked up dudes.
He got through it, and he won the title. I literally screamed the house down when he won the belt. What a man. He's been there and done it. He won it. He was like 37, and everyone thought he was done. He's the best British MMA fighter of all time, and he probably will be the best British MMA fighter of all time for the rest of the time for what he did for the sport in Britain, if you ask me.
He brought it on, didn't he? Brought it
on, and he got to the top of the mountain. It's unreal stuff from all this.
like when you think of it, like at the moment, no British fighters outside Bisping have really got to the top of the tree in the UFC, have they?
Dan Hardy had a title shot, didn't he? And
Yeah.
he had a he put on he showed how tough he was against GSP. But other than that, I think that is literally it, isn't it?
Yeah, none of the others have got there yet. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. Brett John's got a fight coming up now in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Be nice to see him put on a performance, because when I spoke to him, he said like he felt like his last fight he didn't do himself justice.
Yeah,
but he seems well up for it.
Hey, Brett is he's world class, Brett, and he's such a good guy, and he deserves all success in the world. And I hope he gets the job done. He should get the job done. I normally train with him a lot. I haven't trained with him at all for his current camp. I've trained with him for my last few camps. He used to come to the gym a lot. I've been down to his gym a lot, but this camp we haven't met at all. But I can only imagine he's in the best shape he's ever been.
Yeah, I think so. I'm really looking forward to that fight. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So Peter McCarthy on Twitter asked, how does it feel to be the future of MMA and the future world champion? #believe.
Believe. It feels good, mate. Peter, it feels good. Yeah.
That's it. Getting ready. Preparing.
That's just it's not even a question. That's just a flat out compliment, isn't
it?
Yeah.
JD wants to know, who would you rather fight, McGregor or Khabib?
McGregor.
For the money.
Not so much for the money. I'd have a bang with him.
Yeah, I think that'd be an awesome fight, mate.
I'd have a bang with him. I said to my stepdad 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I said, nah, it would have been 4 years ago or 5 years ago. I said, guaranteed, when I get to like 25, 26, the same way McGregor called Mayweather out, I'm going to call McGregor out. I said that years ago. So that's on file. So if it happens, which you never know, it's on file there and then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that'll be good, mate. I would like to see it.
I'll bang him out as well.
So then we had a couple on Facebook earlier, which I think are some of your mates and that as well. So Glenn Williams asked, if Oban could be the matchmaker for one night, which fights would he make happen for himself, his teammates, and his mates?
Ooh. For myself, if I was the matchmaker, well, there's a few fights, but the one I've always been intrigued with, the one I've always been intrigued with was Mason Jones, because he's like 20 minutes away. And months, probably nearly a year ago now, I said to him a couple of times, we should spar, we should get some sparring done. And he sort of just like brushed me off as like a stranger. So I was like, yeah, hopefully, get a spar. He's a good fighter. Get on with him. And then I seen him again. Said to him, yeah, we should get some sparring done. I said it on a podcast the other day. And he like looked at me like a fan, like, oh, yeah, come get in touch with my team. And I was it's just a bit awkward. It's like, I've got to get in touch with your team to spar you, sort of.
Yeah.
But then since then, a series of you could call it banter on Twitter has took place with his brother and most of his friends and all of my friends. So I'm gonna, it's neck and neck, and then I'm getting messages on Instagram like, Mason Jones will kill you. Mason Jones will kick your head in. Mason Jones will. You're nobody. There's only one lightweight in Wales. Mason Jones this, Mason Jones that, and I just laugh it off.
Yeah.
Because it's banter, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit of banter, but the tables turned for the worst when my mates were giving it this, his mates were giving it that. Then apparently at Cage Warriors they had this big, massive argument, like, and everyone was pushing and shoving each other.
No.
It's one of them things. And the thing is, I've never even fallen out with Mason ever. Not once. I get on with him. How are you doing? Shake his hand every time I see him. But since then, he's called me like a clown, and it's all gone a bit sour over a bit of like banter that I didn't even start.
Yeah.
And as I've always wanted the sparring,
you're fighting.
I've always wanted the sparring, but as all this is kicked off, I'm probably never going to spar him, but it's one I've always been thought, I'd love to train with him. I'd love to see how we get on against him. I'd love to see how we get on. But so I say, if that would have to be a fight now, because I'm guessing he doesn't like me very much because of what my friend said. But it is what it is.
It's mad how it develops from nothing, though, isn't it?
Mate, you're telling me. I've had people come up to me on nights out going, "Leave Mason alone." And I'm like, I haven't said a word about him. I haven't said a word about him. But people are going skits at, I wish Mason all the best, but I've like messaged him going, I respect you, but I'm not going to go scraping his ass now.
Yeah.
Just defended over my friends. I've said my bit. My conscience is clear, but if he's going to be like that, I guess it's one of them, innit? You know what I mean? If he's near the belt, I'm gonna be coming after him. So it's one of them things. If I'm a matchmaker, probably that one. Now,
and that goes back to that other question we had earlier about fighting people who you like going to fall out with.
Well, I don't think we should fall out, but
well, you haven't fallen out with him. He's fallen out with you.
He's fallen out with me, yeah. His brother and he's all got out of hand.
Craziness.
Yeah, it is a bit bonkers. I think he's like 3 years older than me as well.
Twitter beefs.
It's all a load of bollocks. Like, it's like, and like my mates are saying, "Oh, Mason's boring," and that. And this is where my opinion on Mason completely changed, because he then started like offering my mates out to his gym to come and educate them or something. I'm not calling his mates out for a scrap. But he's asking my mates to go down his gym, so he doesn't want to go down that road. Put it that way, do you know what I mean? No. You can't be doing stuff like that. I'm not. But I just want to get that out there in the least confrontational way as possible. But that didn't sit right with me when he said that. You know what I mean? You should be a professional, and you shouldn't go around saying stuff like that to people. But in the same breath, like I said to my mates, you shouldn't be saying this to him. So it's one of them things, I say to my friends, people think I'm getting you to say it. Can you cut it out? And they're like, oh, yeah. And then one says another. But anyway, what was the next bit that Glenn said?
So fights that you would make happen for yourself, your teammates, and your mates.
My teammates, well, Jordan Peake and Ben Ellis. That's the co-main event on the next card. That's the one I really wanted to see. Ben goes around saying he's the best featherweight in Wales. And then Peake says, no, I'm the best featherweight in Wales. And that'd be a good
Soon
one.
Find out.
Yeah. We'll find out, yeah. And yeah, I'd say that one. I want to see Jack Shaw against Nathaniel Wood.
Yeah.
I want to see, yeah. I'm not too sure on the middleweights, to be honest, with Marshman. Yeah. Yeah.
Good shout.
What was the last one?
And your mates.
Oh, my mates. Well. Well, Glenn. Speaking of Glenn, he's fighting. I think he's fighting Shane Price. I'm not too sure. I'd love to see Glenn try and get the Cage Warriors Academy belt. He lost that. He lost his last chance.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of mates that I can think of that I can't pick one and not mention the other. So I say Glenn. He asked the question.
There we go. And Jordan Peake asks, who's got the biggest nut in the gym, Evil or the Vet?
The Vet, Chris Edwards.
Ah, right, okay.
He's like 5'4". He's like 85 kilos, and his head's like this big. Yeah, 5'4".
Who else we got? Jordan Minute. I apologise to Jordan for didn't pronounce his name properly. He says, how many tiles can he carry up a roof in one go?
Oh, Jordan Minot.
Sorry, that's my fault.
4. Mate. I worked with him for a bit. 4. I can stick 4 on, but he tried lumping 6 on because he thinks he's hard, doesn't he? Young Dutt, that's his nickname.
Not Bumhole.
No, not Bumhole. Different boy.
Guy. I'm going to save this question from Ben Jackson till
That's
last.
Bumhole.
Is it? There you go.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to save his question till last, only because I was going to ask you this question because I've seen your recent Twitter activity. Matthew James wants to know, would you rather fight 100 chicken-sized men or one man-sized chicken?
100 chickens. 100 chicken-sized. Oh, no, I don't know, because the chickens are quite big, aren't they? You couldn't just go booting them all. They grab onto your foot. One man-sized chicken and just bang it out like.
Take it out in one.
Big baboon. Yeah.
And Mark Lavington says, when will you knock out Conor McGregor? But you've already answered that because you said when you're about 25.
25, 26.
Call him out,
Bang
finish his career.
Finish him off, like, yeah.
Okay, so before we get to Bumhole Ben's questions, love that nickname. It's cracking. Peaches again. She wants to know. She says, name 3 films that she should watch and 3 TV series.
3 films she should watch, if she hasn't already watched them: Step Brothers, Lone Survivor. Oh, Rocky 4. My coach Carl says Rocky 3, but I think Rocky 4 is the best one. And if she's seen Step Brothers or Lone Survivor, then just watch 3 Rockies, because Peaches probably hadn't seen that.
No.
Peach, yeah. And the series, Breaking Bad, You, and Narcos, but she's probably seen all them as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen You or Narcos.
Watch Narcos, that's good.
It's supposed to be awesome. What's that You like?
Good, really good. You'd be surprised that, yeah, it's a bit it's strange, you know.
What's it about?
Some guy who's like just a bit of a perv, but then sometimes you think, oh, is he a perv? And then you're sort of like and ahhing, like, but then like he does stuff where you think, oh, nah, it's bang out of order, and then you're like, oh, is he? It's like messing with your head.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it because everyone seems to be watching it. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so let's finish off on this question. Ben Jackson says, "What are Oban's opinions on veganism?"
Well, I've never understood it myself, but I get the concept. But when did it happen, veganism? Like a couple of years ago, something like that? Let's say 100 years. It's probably not been around for 100 years. But think of what all the cavemen did. Think of like the food chain. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's natural to eat meat, but then they'll turn around and go, no, it's not, you're killing the planet. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. If I was a chicken, let me turn the brightness up. I can't. Oh, no, it is that. If I was a chicken, right, and I was getting killed, but say you had like eyes and you could still see after you were dead, right? Just think of this now. Imagine you with a chicken, you've just been killed, right? And you're just like, oh, nightmare. Oh, well. And then you're sitting on this counter with a £5 sticker on yourself. And you're just like, oh, nightmare. I can't believe it. And then the chicken's here, and then like the shelf above is like some chickpeas or like salad and tofu or vegan stuff, you know, right? Yeah. So you've got this chicken with eyes now. He's looking at this customer, and then the customer's like, yeah, he's probably thinking, yeah, you know, I'm gonna get picked up. You know, they're obviously gonna buy me. I haven't died for nothing, right? And then they go, oh, nah, it's cruel. Chickpeas. If you were the chicken, you'd be like, I've just died, so someone will pick up a bag of chickpeas while I'm sat dead on a counter for no reason.
It's not on.
So if I was that chicken or turkey or whatever they are, I'd at least want to be served on a plate and feed a family at least.
Yeah,
but I get it. They're trying to stop. They're trying to, just dying for nothing. I get they're trying to stop all the animal cruelty and that, and I agree with that. But it's not going to happen, is it? Let's be fair. So I
think there's a difference, isn't there, between, and that's what I don't really like. For me personally, if you want to be vegan, crack on. If you want to eat meat, crack on. Whatever. I don't really give two shits what people do, but unless they like hurting other people or they're upsetting other people. But what I can't handle is people who fucking preach to me and tell me what I should be doing. I can't handle that. Whether it's vegan or meat eaters or whoever, like
everyone I've ever
tell me what I should be doing.
I've had the same thing. But yeah, I went to uni in Bristol, so as you can imagine, there's a lot of like flower power. They're just everywhere. So
I'm telling you,
I probably would have been like a vegan if I weren't someone kicking off at me every 2 seconds because I was like a chicken mayo or something.
Yeah,
or a drumstick.
But do you think it puts you off, doesn't it? Like it puts you off even contemplating it.
But I don't understand.
Like people having to go at you.
But then people say, "Oh, you get your protein in other sources." But me as an athlete, when I'm cutting weight, I can't. Like I need meat.
Yeah.
I need it. So, and if it's there on a counter in a packet, if one day I walked in a shop, right, and there weren't a massive selection of meats and whatever, I say, "Oh, they've stopped killing the chickens or whatever." Fair enough. I'll go and grab some chickpeas.
Yeah.
You know,
because you have to.
It's not happening, is it? Let's be fair. Or if they said, if you stop buying this, we'll stop killing the animals, I'll say, all right, I'll stop buying it then. But they're always, if I leave it there or not, someone else will buy it. It's impossible, you know.
Yeah, it is. Right. Oban, thank you for joining me, mate. Just before I close up the show, tell the people where they can find you on Twitter and Instagram and all this type of stuff.
My Instagram is Oban Elliott. That's it. All lowercase, all one word. My Twitter is Oban Elliott _ and my Facebook page is Oban Elliott, all one word. That's the advantage of having a unique name. Yeah, that's
absolutely
me. Yeah, that's it. I've got to give a special shout out to my girlfriend, Liv.
Top man.
You know.
Got to do it. Good thinking. Yeah, you got it.
You know, she's in Australia at the moment. And my mate Chaxie's in Australia as well. So shout out to Chaxfield. All the boys. Bumhole, Matthias, Jonesy, Crocker, Lewis. I've definitely Doyley. I forgot him last time. We have a chat called SOTP, and if I don't mention them, they'll kick off. So there it is.
There you go. All mentioned.
Yeah, everyone's in there.
Today's show was brought to you by Away Day Apparel. Visit www.awaydayapparel.co.uk for latest clothes and offers with some big things planned for 2020. Definitely worth following them on Twitter at Away Day Apparel and Insta @awayday _apparel. Follow me, ACEcast _nation on Twitter. Facebook.com/ACEcastNation. Subscribe on YouTube. YouTube.com/ACEpodcastNation. That's the best way to support the show. There's 3 new shows every week, video and audio, and on all sorts of subjects. Again, Oban, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
People, thank you for watching, listening, and sending in a shitload of questions. Always good.
Thank you.